ならありがたく受け取ろう。
どれ、試しに振ってみてくれんか。
おお、身体強化。こうか。
I don't know who else was with me, but the end of the episode, I literally yelled out, like, God damn it, it got me. Like, as Nor was about to fight this Gilbert dude, I was like, oh snap, here we go. Like, yo, he about to throw down with this dude. And then the episode ended, I was like, God. I was like, it got me. It got me. I wasn't even paying attention. So here's the thing. I thought episode 1 was fantastic, right? Like the whole, like, he mistaked the Minotaur, like, demon beast for like a cow and stuff. Like, funny stuff. And then also the fight was actually pretty cool as well too, with him being able to parry and all other stuff. So I thought episode 1 was awesome. Going into episode 2 though, is one of the things to where it's like, okay, episode 1 came out and it did kind of set up a, you know, a good tone, and it said, hey, we're about this dude who kind of is like, he closed himself off to the world for so long that his knowledge of just like the outside world is pretty limited, right? Like, even himself, he's like, he just kind of admitted to the king, like, hey, I'm just a normal dude. I'm just like a commoner. I'm not an aristocrat. Like, I don't want to offend you. I don't know how to speak eloquently. Like, hey, I'm not about this life. I'm just letting you know. And the king, you could tell he was definitely like an adventurer. He was hard. You could tell that he was like a dude, like a man's man, you know, before. So he doesn't take offense to it. You could tell that he kind of really hit it off with Nor even, which I really enjoyed. But anyways, I want to take 2 seconds back. So going into this episode, it was one of these towards like, okay, I don't know exactly what we're going to get here. I'm crossing fingers that we get something good. And wow, I think we really did. And the crazy part is I'm going to mention another show, but it's not to say that they're alike in any way, shape, or form. It's just a similar vibe, okay? So we have slime anime, like Tensura, you know, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of times there's really big highs, like really big moments with that show, like, you know, really bombastic fights and really cool scenes. And then the majority of the show is made up of just kind of talking, like, you know, political intrigue and stuff, like just talking, but it's so interesting that like it really holds your attention. Like, it's really good writing. So I think that's kind of what we have here. Again, not to say this is like slime or anything, but this episode, nothing bombastic happened. Literally, Nor goes to the guild and, you know, he completes a job, you know, another like menial, you know, mudslinging job, like a menial task job. And he goes in and he goes to the guild. He talks to the guild master. And Guildmaster gives him some stuff about, you know, hey, you know, be careful. There was a demon sighting and all this other stuff. And he ends up talking to him about, you know, hey, have you thought about just getting like a regular, like a regular 9 to 5, you know, like you might like, you know. So he has that conversation with them. You know, that goes on for a few minutes. It's a pretty interesting conversation. Really, it's just Nor finding out about like these crazy things that have happened that he was totally a part of, but it's totally just going over his head. And then the princess shows up, and she's like, got you, bitch. And she found him, and she basically yanks him out, pulls him out. The guildmaster is like, I know this girl from somewhere. He never puts his finger on him. And she yanks him out. She does all this, you know, she has a bunch of really cool abilities to, like, you know, be a ninja, like, you know, be a thief or cloaking or whatever. And really cool stuff. So she sneaks him back to her palace, because she was like, oh, I need to show you my things. And she throws him for a loop or he throws her for a loop because she's like, do you want land? He's like, no. It's like, no, like, you know, your thank you. Like you say you're coming and finding me, you know, and saying thank you. Like that's enough. Like in his eyes, he didn't save the princess from an A-rank demon minotaur. In his eyes, he saw somebody in trouble and he saved them from a cow. And he saved them from a cow. So he's like, yo, I didn't do anything. He's like, and in reality, he's like, I kind of just got lucky. So that whole entire, you know, thing was funny. But she was like, yo, you want money? He's like, no. He's like, you want land? No. He's like, you want treasures? But she went down a list, and he's like, no, I don't. He's like, I don't need anything. Like, you say thank you to that. And she starts crying because she was like, you have to accept my generosity. And he's like, okay, dude, okay. He's like, and she was like, meet my dad, you know, whatever. And he's like, okay, so look, I'll meet your dad. You know, so he goes to meet him, and then the whole scene between him meeting all these different retainers and stuff was like really, really fun. And they're all looking at him like, who's this piece of trash walking into this place? You know, and that's that's a whole level of fun as well. And then he meets his dad. He meets her dad, and then he goes through this. They go through a big scene again, all very entertaining stuff. I really like her dad a lot because again, like he gives off like that, like I used to be like you vibes. Like I used to be like this big adventurer guy, who's he's willing to not see himself totally above everybody else, even though he's the freaking king. So he talks to him, and I think, like I said, I think they really hit it off. I think because they're very similar in the way that they kind of hold themselves and stuff. Obviously, the king, he's gone through a lot, so he's the king. But like, he's very similar vibes. And he goes through the same thing. You want land, you want money, he's like, no. It's like, say thank you as her father. Like, it's enough. And that's a whole entire funny thing. And he ends up offering him basically like a relic, like a hero's relic weapon or something. Basically, the king's like, I don't use this anymore. And it's so important that he even has a replica of it. But Nor ends up taking it because he's like, okay, he's like, out of everything, he's like, I'm gonna take this weapon. And that's funny, then he goes out and he meets the retainers and he gets challenged at the end, and that's where the episode got me. But I love the vibes. I love the comedy. I laughed a couple of times just because like he thought that the vice captain was a maid. Like she's clearly in armor. But again, he's been so disconnected from the world. He's like, oh, I thought you were a maid. And she got a kick out of that. And then when he said his name, she had like a realization moment, which again, I'm really thinking his parents were really important at some point. Like the way his house was set up, like domain expansion, essentially. Like it was just like I have a feeling his parents were really important. Or maybe his reputation precedes him, kind of thing. Like this is the kid that whatever. It could be one of those two things, but she obviously took notice and he gets challenged at the end. But this episode is fantastic. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. Again, even the slower moments were still really entertaining, which I think that's how you're watching something quality, is when nothing's truly happening, but stuff's happening and it's intriguing and entertaining at the same time. So I really think we found a good one here. So I'm having a good time watching I Parry Everything so far. I hope you guys are too. If you're not, let me know in the comments. If you are, let me know in the comments. And of course, hit like before you guys leave. All right, my friends. I'll see you guys next week for episode 3. Peace.